What's up guys, it's Eli and I've got a video today about Omoplatas. I was looking at videos that I've done on Omoplatas, and the last time I showed something with Omoplatas on the offense was like 12 years ago. You don't have to go watch that video because it looks really weird. And I did one on Omoplata, like escapes, counters, things like that. So I thought we would kind of go back and look at Omoplatas from lots of different positions and kind of some setups, entries, even some like backup plans off of them. So let's talk with a basic kind of setup for Omoplata. You can hit this from different kind of setups. I like to generally, whenever I'm first showing someone how to get it, start from this kind of a pyramid guard like this. So basically, if we're starting like here, then I want to get my shin into the bicep. I want to hold the wrist here like this, keeping her posture broken down, get off to the side to my heels, trying to connect to my knee over here like this. So this is a really good place where I can start to set this up. If she wants to posture, I would go to triangle from here probably, right? But if she wants to stay down here, then I can use my leg like a frame here like this to pull my bottom leg out from underneath. Now, there's a couple different routes that we can take with this. You can figure four and start to shrimp out this way, or you can kind of go ice pick method like this. And the idea here is that I'm stretching my legs out, so I'm making a scissoring motion here on her arm, and that's gonna try to get her shoulder to the floor. I don't like to think about finishing an omoplata or even trying to finish an omoplata unless she's pretty flat to the floor, at least her shoulder, hopefully her hip. So once we get to this position, once I start to fan my legs out, I'm gonna control her wrist here in the pocket like this. I wanna cover her hip so she has a harder time rolling out. And personally, I like to always try to get to this arm if I possibly can, because now I don't have to set up and try to help her roll out of this. I can come here and start to pull this arm back and get the finish on this side too. So this is a really good way to keep her from being able to roll out like that. So this is basic kind of entry for Omoplata. Now, we could do a different kind of version, which is similar and closely related, where we go from more of a rubber guard style setup. So from here, especially if I have her hands already to the mat and I'm starting to set up this kind of rubber guard position here like this, I can start to go here, clear her head, pull this leg around this way here, and use this to frame here. I think they call this a Kung Fu move here, where you pull this out here this way. I can figure four or stretch, straighten out this way here, get her shoulder to the floor as I go to set up, and then the rest is pretty much the same. I come inside here like this, S-curve the two legs, don't keep the figure four on this part, and then I start to set up here for the Omoplata finish, or attack the far side arm here like this. Now, let's talk about what if she is resisting this, she's defending this, she's countering this some kind of way. So if we go here and I start this Omoplata, so sometimes we'll get to this position here and I'm having a hard time getting her shoulder to the floor like this. So a really good and unexpected kind of sneaky move from here before I start to S-curve the legs, because I don't want to uncross my legs here if her shoulder is still up off the floor. But what she's given me the ability to do from here possibly is I'm going to take this arm here, I'm going to shoot it right inside this direction. So now from this right here, I'm going to go here gable grip, and I might be able to get a choke just like that. If not, I'm going to allow her to get her arm free here this way, if she can get that arm out. If she gets the arm free, then we can go straight in and go for this Darce choke off of there as well. So she's primarily concerned about the Omoplata setup. She's trying to keep her shoulder actively off the floor. So she gives me the space to be able to go inside, get that gable grip with the shin in, or she gets her arm all the way free and go in for that Darce choke off of it like that. If I'm getting here and going into this Omoplata kind of position like this here, and I consider Omoplata like a position. It was one of the first submissions that I really started to view as a position itself, and that really kind of changed my perspective on a lot of things. But if I'm getting into this position here and she beats me to the punch and she starts to roll out from here this way. Now what I can do is as she goes to roll out, I'm gonna catch with my far side arm like this here. And as I catch, I wanna go here and start to set up the toe hold like this. I don't expect to finish it from sitting, but as she's rolling out here, I can bring this foot back inside. I can fall over here like this. I wanna take her toes to her butt this way and finish that toe hold just like that. So she's giving me access to that whenever she goes for that rollout in defense. Similar to that, something that's very closely related on that rollout is if she goes to roll out here like this, I can go arm inside here. And what she'll tend to want to do once she rolls out, if she stays flat, then I'm going to base here this way, come up, fold my foot or fold my leg underneath her tricep like this, sandwiching her arm, crossing my two legs, and then I want to come here, I want to push her arm to the floor so I can get that straight arm bar like this. Sometimes she'll connect the two arms like this here in defense to that. So if that's the case here, then I'm going to go here, I'm gonna base on my elbow. I wanna pick this foot up and bring it underneath her chin, and then I wanna sit over here so that I'm sitting my hip on top of her wrist, and then this figure four, the legs are going underneath here this way. From here, I'm gonna stay posted here on my elbow. I'm gonna reach over, pick up my knee this direction here, and get that shoulder lock. So this is a monoplata, closely related to the omoplata. Sometimes her wrist will slip out. If it does, we can go back in here sometimes and work out straight into a straight arm bar off of that as well. So if I'm getting into this omoplata position here like this, and she's pressuring into me to kind of relieve, kind of kill my angle that I need to dish my hips out to be able to finish that omoplata, then something I can do here is I can dish my arm underneath her body or just inside of her leg, straighten my arms, or straighten my legs out, rather pull her approximately here this way, and then once we roll up, we're back into the seated position here. I can go back for this short arm here like this, or I can re-roll by taking this near side hand here and holding her tricep tendon, tucking my shoulder, re-rolling over and across this direction here. And then sometimes this is even worse because once we get to this position, she's in a seated position here, so it's harder for her to get her knees back underneath her to relieve the pressure. So I can still come up this direction here like this and get this kind of almost crucifix style omoplata on her shoulder. Now we're going from the top position from mount, and I like this one a lot. This one I think is probably a little better sometimes for somebody that's a little less experienced or somebody that's out of desperation. They're trying to hug around your trunk, but this can also be set up just anytime that you can get this arm isolated over here around your side and get underneath their elbow off to this way here. But we're gonna do it from her just kind of hugging around my trunk like this, so she doesn't want me to be able to attack her arms, and she's trying to keep her head close to me. So I'm gonna slide my knees up nice and high underneath her armpits first, and then I wanna prop one leg up on one side. I wanna hug that leg nice and tight here like this. I need to get her grip broken to be able to isolate that arm. So what I wanna do from there is to break that grip, I'm just gonna frame here on her face. You can make this as nice or as mean as you want to. I can just shove her head to the floor or make like a more technical frame so it looks like I'm doing jiu-jitsu. And so then whenever we get to here, now I'm gonna again clear the head like I was doing from the guard a while ago, like that rubber guard kind of clearing the head. And then from here, I could possibly go back into monoplata, but I can keep taking this all the way over this direction here, get her prone, stomach down like this, and then we're back into this omoplata position here. Again, I can grab the far side arm like this to isolate it to prevent her roll, but I still have the ability to finish that omoplata like that from mount. A good place that if you have kind of the wherewithal and the timing and the awareness of this position, whenever she's here and looking to escape, so she's looking to do kind of an uphill escape from this far side underhook like this. So she gets that underhook here and she's starting to slip out the back and she's coming up on almost like a single leg here like this, then that gives me another opportunity similar to what we did a while ago with that re-roll that we did. So from here, I want to tuck this arm, I want to come here and I want to grab that tricep tendon, I want to tuck my shoulder and just re-roll through this direction again, and then I come up out the back, and then we're back here into this omoplata position once again, from her escaping out with that underhook escape on the far side. So the omoplata was one of the submissions that I started to view as a position, and it changed my perspective on how I view submissions a lot of the time. I really prioritize the control, the angle, the weight distribution, the structure, all that stuff over just trying to break this thing or choke this thing or whatever. So what I mean by that is, like, if I get her into this omoplata style position here like this, whether I'm sitting up or not, then I start to see kind of like in reaction to what she's doing. Is she trying to posture? Is she trying to roll? Is she trying to turn toward me or away from me? And those will all kind of determine like what I do next and how I follow up, whether I'm able to execute the actual omoplata itself or whether I'm gonna have to switch to something else. The thing that really did to change my perspective, and the thing that it really instilled in me, was the necessity to have to really feel the weight distribution. So the ability to, while I'm going for this, not to waste time, to be proactive, to be controlling, but also to be sensitive to feel those kind of weight shifts and everything else. So whenever we get to this position, she can either roll forward, she can posture up, she can turn and face me, or she can turn away from me. If she turns away from me, it's probably the worst thing she can do because she's giving me the pressure that I need and she's putting her own shoulder on the floor. If she turns in to face me, then it's possible that here, if she ducks her head inside here like this, that she can start to pull me across her this way here, and that might get her out, or it might just give me a mounted triangle on the way out. So that's one thing that we can look to do. If you want to see what that looks like, it's something like this here, as she starts to turn her face like this. From here, I want to catch her head on the way through. I want to bunch all this up here so that my knee is pinching here together toward my calf. Her arm's already in a really messed up position here. And then I'm going to pick up, I want to close that triangle, and I want to walk this direction here, turning, and then I get that mounted triangle from there like that. So that takes care of if she tries to turn away from me, gives me the omoplata. She turns into me, and she may give me the omoplata, or she may pull me into the mount and finish with this mounted triangle or arm bar. If she rolls out, we saw before that I can catch maybe a toe hold on the way out, or I can turn that into my sweep. What does that leave? If she postures up, right? So if she starts to try to posture up, we saw that maybe if she postures and I catch her midway, then I can maybe work into a Darce choke. But if she's here and she's trying to posture up this way here, then I can step this leg back around. And now I'm starting to move around to take her back like this. I've still got her arm caught this way. She's probably gonna work to free it. So I wanna make sure that I control that far side armpit like this so that she doesn't immediately turn and face me in a way that I can't control. So now I can start to move to the back, and now I've got my seat belt and I'm starting to look to actively take her back from that. I think that a good way to approach any attack, any submission position transition, is once you have the mechanics of it down and you've repped it to where you feel comfortable with it, is to then think about what are the common ways that they're going to respond to it. And there's usually three main energies that they're going to give me in response. Stagnation, which just allows me to get whatever I want, or a push energy or a pull energy. So then I have to account for the pushing energy, or where she is resisting me head on, or I have to account for the pull energy where she's taking my energy and trying to accelerate it like Jiu-Jitsu style, you know? So then I need at least those responses to each one, and then it branches out from there. A good place to start training Omoplata from is that full position like that, where she could either roll forward, posture up, turn away, or turn toward me. So more than anything, I just wanted to kind of get across the concept of how to control the position, how to finish the position from a variety, get into it from a variety of positions as well, but mostly the viewing it as a position itself rather than just a submission. So if you've got any other ones that you're curious about, and or ways that you like to get into Omoplata, then I'd like to hear about it. So let me know in the comment section. And anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate Anya for being in my video with me. Okay, thank you guys, appreciate it.